Alright. Okay, we're live. Think we're live. Gonna hope we're live. It works. Okay, so welcome to the PCF show. So for our first performance it'll be two United States Air Force Thunderbird F4 Phantoms, which will be escorting a Rockwell B1 Lancer. They'll be coming in from the right, and they're gonna have the smoke on the F4s, and the B1 will do multiple flypasts. Two from the right, one of them's got the wings unfolded, and the second one will have the wings folded. If I go ahead and zoom in to Mela, you might. Okay, never mind. Might be able to. There you go. See now, they're going. Oh, yeah, they're going to the CF4 Phantoms behind the B1. They're going to come by around about 300 knots. The F4 Phantoms are rotating. The B1's also rotated. They said they're from the right. The first fly pasts will be without. We'll have the wings extended. Smoke on. Go. Now then, the B1 Lancer is not going to have the afterburners lit, so you don't want to be going Mac over the Airshow. As of course, there's regulations against going Mach 1 in Airshows. So from the right, they're going to roll out as they are. There's two F4 Phantoms, one to the left and one to the right, towards the middle. They're going to start to slow down, and they're going to be brought in from the right, United States Air Force. Slight bit of a quick reposition there. Going to come by around about 270 knots. It's the equivalent of going roughly around about Mach 0.3-ish. Can hear them now. Can hear the sound of the Rockwell B1 being escorted. One of the Thunderbirds comes by before the rest of the formation. Here they are now. Rockwell B1 coming by very low. No pass. It's brought up. Afterburners lit. As it is now being followed by an F4 Phantom. B1 starts to roll out. There goes the formation. Now, for the next fly past, they're going to come in instead now from the left, and they're going to roll. Well, one of the F4 Phantoms is going to roll around the B1. The B1's going to keep them wings up, preventing it from going anywhere near Mach. The formation will be brought around about 311 knots. This is the United States Air Force, B1 Lancer, and two Thunderbird F4 Phantoms. The aircraft are now starting to descend. You can see the Rockwell B1. You can see the lights of the F4 Phantoms. The smoke is on for the next fly past. The B1's now starting to dive just a little bit to make sure that the smoke will be visible, with the two F4 Phantoms escorting it. Yep, the B1 Lancer maintains the F4 Phantom's now going to break out formation. The F4 Phantoms and B1 now starting to climb. The F4 Phantom now starting to pitch up just a little bit to make sure that it doesn't crash over the water. From the left, you can see it again. From the right, sorry, the B1 Lancer. You can see another F4 Phantom up there following it. The other F4 Phantom's going to come in front of it and it's going to break the formation. Modern day, the F4 Phantom for the Thunderbirds would have been replaced with the F-16 Fighting Falcon. B1 Lancer. The speed is put into the B1 to allow it to make sure it doesn't stall, and to also make sure that the B1 Lancer isn't flaring. This will hopefully allow for the jet to stay higher up without the need to bring back the power. Without the need to both bring back the power and to fly. Now then, the Rockwell B1 is now folding the wings. The wings on the Rockwell B1 are now being folded to allow for the next formation to be without such big wings, which are going to generate a lot more drag compared to what they are when they are aerodynamic. The aerodynamics will allow for the aircraft to fly a lot faster. It will allow for it to be flaring a lot less. And it will also allow for the formation to be able to go in front of the wings without having to try to avoid hitting the wings. The aircraft being sent out of Mella Airport, which is just across the bay. If you were here from the start, then you would have seen the F4 Phantoms and the Rockwell B1 upon departure. Now then, from the left, you can now see the two F4 Phantoms and the Rockwell B1. The B1's now going to start to bring the formation. It's going to bring the formation around to the right so that they can fly easier to the left. The B1 now starting to pull the formation. They're now going to start to fly towards the right. B1's going to start to bank. The F4 Phantom's staying in formation. The F4 Phantom is now starting to loop around, where it's then going to rejoin the B1 Lancer, flying underneath it. B1 Lancer continuing to fly. The F4 Phantoms making sure that they're not descending below the B1. At around about 307 knots, the B1 Lancer bringing around the rest of the formation. The F4 Phantoms getting in speed. As now one of them is going to pull up in front of the B1. Oh. And then it's going to pull up to a vertical and then it's going to brake. Probably one Lancer is now trying to maintain speed below Mach. It's currently at about 67% of its speed. I'm going to increase that to make sure it's not happening for much longer. The Rock will be one. It's now going to be joined up by the rest of the formation. Just flying over us there at Mach is one of the Phantoms. There it is, going to rejoin the formation. The formation of which that consists of a B-1B Lancer and the other F4 Phantom. About 482 knots. The B-1B Lancer is now bringing back the formation as they're now going to turn into each other, being the F4 Phantom and the B1. And they're going to come in now from straight ahead, ready to brake. B1B Lancer is now going into full wing fold of 68 degrees rotation. The speed's brought back to roughly about 65% of its max. They're aiming now for roughly around about 380 knots as the jets will now be brought back. The Rockwell B1B Lancer is now going to be brought back around, ready for this maneuver. Being brought around now. The F4 Phantoms now getting into formation with the Rockwell B1. The B1 Lancer is a bomber for the United States Air Force, capable of Mach. The formation is now being brought around the room. the Rockwell B1 is now going to start to do a rotation to about 180 degrees, coming all the way back around. The F4 Phantoms following him too. Following the B1. The F4 Phantom 1 is currently 1 knot below the B1. B1 knots are flying about 385 knots. The F4 Phantom flying at 384. The B1 Lancer's wings are being unfolded. The next pass. The minimum fold on the B1 Lancer at 0% is 14 degrees. That was the United States Air Force B1 and Thunderbird display. Up next is the Qatar MRO flight. Alright, okay. What we have now, we have the Qatar performance. We will have two F-15 QA-Bs. Is it a bit? One sec. Never mind. Instead, what we have now is we have a Qatar F-15. No, sorry, I did it again. What we have now is a Swedish Saab Gripen, and we have two Swedish Saab Gripens. These are the splinters. Okay. Hold on. What we're going to see now is we're going to see the aircraft starting south Seattle. They're going to go all the way down the runway. They're going to backtrack, and they're going to take off. This is the sprint point. Okay, so they're being masked out. These two Griffins here are from the Swedish 6002 squadron. And that was not. There's three Griffins. So I'm just gonna go back to the ATC tower. we should be able to get a better view of the 3 Griffins that are performing. Two of them are now down the runway. There's one more. And that's it, be static. Or if it's gonna be fun. The lights in sync as well. One of the Griffins now slowing down. The other one starts to backtrack. Oh. One of them's lined up. Now the Griffin is now go. He's lined up. Run. They're both lined up. They're both ready. This is Swedish Stockholm. Sorry for the delay in performance there. So they're all lined up now, all three of the Griffins. They're ready to go. Okay. Majority of this performance will hopefully be directly in front. The Griffins now going to start to slow down just a little to make sure that they can stay in formation. The Griffin is a very formidable jet. It's very capable, and it's a perfect aircraft to see at an airshow. Just Riyadh and this airshow in PTFS. Once again, this is another flying jet that is capable of Mach. The aircraft is most commonly seen in the Swedish Air Force. It also flies for the Thai Air Force, Brazilian Air Force, and there's a couple other air forces as well that opt out for the Griffin. Most commonly seen out of these type of jets will normally be the Eurofighter. Eurofighter is an advanced, capable jet, capable of speed exceeding Mach 2, I believe. It's definitely capable of more than Mach 1. Same for the Griffin. They're going to bring 2 jets in now, all 3 of them, and they're now going to break in formation. They're going to fly into each other. Same thing as what they're going to do with the Hannah break. Except rather than it being done with 4 jets, it's being done with 2. And also, besides from the BA Hawk as well, they're using Griffins. Can start to hear them now. I can hear them. The 2 Griffins are now flying away for the next formation. The 2 Swedish Staff Griffins are going to they're going to fly towards each other. They're going to pitch up to a vertical right in front of us. You can now see the lights of one of the griffins. It's going to start to do a circle to allow for it to break. These are griffins. They've just pitched up to a vertical there. Now one of them's going to come in from the right. It's landing gear out. The other jet has now gone. There's one of the second griffin. It's now rolling around as it now starts to descend. Okay, so that was it for the Swedish Splinter performance. They're now going to come to land. One of them is at GR, Ray Rockford. One of them is now coming to land. It's pitching up now. This looks like it could actually be a good landing in the Swedish cricket. Here it goes. That was a good landing. And there is the sog ribbon. Our next performance consists of the F-35 B Lightning, one of those, and a Harrier jump jet. One second. Okay. At the Fort Airport, in other words, Mella, there is the F-35. Okay, ready to take off. And just behind that, there will be the Harrier. So the Harrier and the F-35, they'll both be hovering over the runway before coming down. You might be able to see them if I zoom in. Oh yeah, you could definitely see the lightning from the Harrier shortly behind. So the Hawker Siddeley Harrier was normally used by the F-35. That's normally used by the Royal Air Force, but they chose to get rid of that aircraft in replacement with the new F-35B Lightnings. As I said, both of these aircraft are capable of vertical takeoff and landing, known as VTOL. They've got the capabilities. The F-35 is a lot newer, and it is a very stealthy aircraft, as well as it also being quite fast and capable with its vertical takeoff. The jet's now taxiing down at roughly about 16 knots. These are some of the only aircraft with vertical takeoff landing capabilities, except for helicopter and some rotor aircraft. Some of which so these aircraft, they one of them is an American version of this aircraft, which is the F-35, and the other version is a Royal Air Force. Well, the F-35 is American. The Hawker Harrier is British. I believe it was based at RAF Waddington in Lincolnshire. The aircraft are now ready to take off. Harry and I are just moving to make sure that it is in line. Both aircraft are now rotating vertically. The F-35 is rotating. Its gear is up. Hawker Harrier doing it a bit differently compared to that which is the Lightning. Now, both of these aircraft, as I said, among some of the most favoured aircraft in all of aviation. They're now coming in. They're going to take a nice slow flight along the bay just to make sure that they keep all of their VTOL stuff out, such as the F-35 and its special engines, which can rotate with a nozzle. The Harrier, its exhausts just pitch down, which is a lot easier for it, rather than, of course, having a nozzle which can rotate and an internal engine which is normally used, or which is only used for vertical takeoff and landing, which is what the F-35 has. The F-35 is in front of the Harrier. The Harrier is just barely below it. There they are. The F-35 is now going to start to rotate with the Harrier. The F-35 is now coming straight for us. The Harrier following closely behind. Both aircraft of which are coming around now at about 80 knots. You can see them just coming ever so slowly closer. Just barely though. The landing gears are coming out. The Hawker Harrier is maintaining as much speed as it can with the Lightning for the VTOL performance. You now start to see the Harrier starting now to catch up to the Lightning. It's about 84 knots. And I'm going to start to slow down. And they're going to fly past us at barely 40 knots. 35 knots is the target. Both jets have managed to achieve and maintain. This is the vertical performance. See now both of the jets will start to pitch back up. The Lightnings maintaining altitude. The Harrier is now starting to come back up to it. They're now going to fly past. VTOL capabilities. The one on the left there is the F-35B. The one on the right there is the Harrier. I believe the F-35 has got Mach capabilities. Most of the jets have actually been here today so far. I don't believe the Harrier does. I may be wrong there. The jets now just slowly hovering by. The landing gears come up as they now start to put more power into their engines. And the Harrier now breaking out formation, the F-35 continuing to fly straight. They're now going to start the next flight past. The F-35B is now going to start to rotate with the Harrier. Being brought back nice and slowly. The Harrier is starting to catch up. 2 vertical jets. The Harrier now starting to catch up. It's going to cut off the lightning. I should perform there. There's the afterburner lit. 35. So the Siddeley Hawker Harrier appears to have just had a failure of the landing gear. It's going to fly past. It's going to do a nice slow fly past as it will display its landing gear. Yeah, so the left main landing gear of it is broken. It's not down. What the safest option here to do is to bring it in using VTOL thrust. You can see there, there's the Hawker. The Harrier is now being brought. Coming in now once again, this is the F-35B Lightning. Being brought in now quite slowly. You can visibly see that the left main landing gear on the Harrier has just refused to come down, which has caused for a potential emergency landing. When it starts, the airshow has started. We've just got to deal with a failure with a Hawker Harrier, and then we'll be back to normal. It's going to be a VTOL performance, but of course the Harrier with no landing gear, it will probably be a lot safer for us to return back, in case of any further failures that happen later. It can cause significant damage to the airframe. This is the F-35B Lightning. See there on the front there, it's got that 360-degree camera, which is used normally for operations such as the quick reaction alarm. See there as well the tilted nozzle of it. F-35B Lightning. Up next after this, we'll be having a 2-jet performance with the red arrows, and plus a potential F4 Phantom Thunderbird. Flaps up in for the Lightning. They're out, sorry. There's the VTOL. It's currently going to maintain. Actually, before we do a Red Arrows flight, we're going to do a performance with a Thai Airways DC-10, which will be flying with Saab Gripen. Positive thruster on the F-35B Lightning. Current lineup of aircraft that are in for display is the landing of the F-35, the Thai DC-10, a 2-jet red arrow performance, and then last but not least, a Qatar Air Force flight. The Lightning is now starting to flare. That was a good touchdown. So I'm going to attack the out. What is happening? For our next performance, there's going to be the Thai DC-10, which will be flying alongside some Thai griffins. Maybe even just Thai. So the griffins are going to be taking off from here at Airbase Gary. The griffin will be taking off from Mela. They're going to meet each other across the bay as they're now going to form their edge. Going to be honest, I believe the livery on the DC-10 of Thai Airways is better than the livery of Thai Airways now. There's also joining the flight a RAF Eurofighter Typhoon FGR-4. Presumably, I'd imagine from 29 Squadron, as that is, of course, the main squadron for RAF Aerobatics. Having a look now across the bay, there is the Thai DC-10. It is a DC-10-10, and it's now going to line up on runway 07. Oh. Just going to finish off lining up that Thai DC-10. Once it's lined up, then it'll be ready to go. Okay, so the Thai aircraft is lined up. Oh. So what's going to happen now? These aircraft are going to line up on the runway. As soon as the Thai DC-10 is taken off and it's climbed to a reasonable altitude, it's going to be met with these two aircraft. The Thai Griffin and the RAF Typhoon. This is a SARC E Griffin, or the Griffin E. And that is a Eurofighter Typhoon FGR-4. It's based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. And the Typhoon itself is about 5 years old. Them two aircraft are now lined up. It's just a matter of when the Thailand plane is off the ground. These two aircraft will be rotating and then taking off. One second. And there it goes, there's the Thailand aircraft. Now preparing to take off. It's rotating off the ground. It's going to mean one thing. There they go. Gripen E barreling down the runway, absolutely sending it into a vertical climb. And there goes the Eurofighter, following shortly behind. Now, of course, with the fact this is a Thailand DC-10, it's going to be a lot less capable than the fighters. Of course, they can go map to go catch up. The Thai aircraft cannot go back. There's the Gripen leading, followed by the Eurofighter Typhoon. The aircraft are going to have to fly below 100 knots to make sure that they can stay in formation with the Thai aircraft. There's the Thailand plane. The Gripen is now, it's going to try find the best way to get up to that DC-10. They said they're going to have to fly around about 100 knots, about 160 knots. 100 knots seems about reasonable though. Best way to get up to that DC-10. The Thailand airplane is now being brought back around. The Gripen following close behind it at around about 225 knots. The aircraft are now ready to start to fly past the Thailand plane, leading. The Gripen 8 is now joining in DC-10. Rotating now to be brought back around. The Thailand aircraft now starting to pitch itself around by rolling out to the side and then using your turn. roll out to the side, and then it's going to use pitch. Just waiting now for the two aircraft, well, three aircraft actually, find their way back around. The aircraft are now going to start to accelerate to prevent the Thailand plane from flaring, which can cause for a descent. We don't want it to descend as it is going to be right over the water. Oh, okay. 1 second. Then change the plan. What we have now is we're going to have a demonstrated. 1 sec. A demonstrated water salute of an aircraft. The aircraft that we'll be using is going to be the MAB C-17. Just as a demonstration, we have two fire trucks which are going to demonstrate a standard water salute. while we wait, we have a RAF Typhoon performance. This Typhoon could fly unrestricted lighting afterburners if it wanted to. Bring out its landing gear. Might be coming in for landing. What, failure? It's got failure. The fire truck being scrambled out and just to assist with the Eurofighter. There goes that. What's that? One second, guys. we have now is we have a Saab Gripen. It looks like it's doing an emergency landing of some sort. So there it is. Once I can figure out where we get the C-17 out. And then departing now is the Qatar C-17. What we're hoping to see is it will land on the other side and it will come off here at Tactical Charlie. It'll fly past from the right to the left, then it'll land on our left, and then it'll come by with the it'll come off the taxiway Charlie. It's in front of us instead, with the fire trucks waiting. Okay. Now what we're hoping to see is, yep, there goes the fire trucks. First one of them. They are, of course, going to go onto the grass. Is there any choice? And then after a quick test, this is what the aircraft will be going under. The demonstration. Hello, hello people in the stream. Can you join? Um, sure. It's a private server though. Playing. So then, the C-17, that is going to be going underneath the water salute, is now coming back to our base camp. Is that you who was in the Thunderbird, Oscar? Hello, Max, I think. I don't know how to say that, sorry. But hello. Okay. Now towards the left you can now see the C-17, the one of which that will be coming underneath the water slough, which is going to be demonstrated by two fire trucks. Um, After this guitar demonstration, I will put up the username for you guys to accept user requests so that you guys can join. Just once this demonstration is done. A little bit of a dive there. The C17 now starting now to pull up. Flare. Oh, bit of a rough approach. Here it is, the water studio demonstration. This C17 is straight out of Qatar Air Force. One second. I'll be like 2 seconds, 1 sec. As you can see now, the C17 passing underneath the water split. Very slowly now. You guys want to join? 1 sec. Add sources. Text. No, I don't want a chat box. Oh. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. That's weird. Okay, that works. Um, okay. It's being odd now. Hopefully this works. Okay. Can you hear me? Please tell me you guys can hear me. I'm trying to sort this out for ages. I thought I had mic on the whole time. Apparently I didn't. Which is slightly annoying. But oh well. Hello. The username's in the top for you to add if you want to join. So then, for the next air show, it's gonna be the Red Arrows Aerobatics team. Actually, before that, we're gonna have a small military helicopter performance. Something there. Never mind. Think I fixed it now. Oh wait. No, I haven't. I messed it up. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I messed it up. Just let me fix this real quick. 1 second. I picked. Oh, that makes sense. Never mind. That was my mistake. I'm at fault there for that. It's gonna be messed up. Like just for a second. I'm just trying to. I think I might have fixed it now. Okay, so there's no planned performances yet. Yet. Yeah. Uh, yeah, you can join if you want to join. Then just add the username. There's the username in the uh, top left should be if you can see it. I think. Zach. Sorry about that. I forgot my mic was muted then. Thank you for that. So there's gonna be. So I forgot. I completely forgot my mic was muted then. I thought my mic was on. Apologies for that there. Uh, Just waiting now for the second Black Hawk helicopter. So, when you said what's next, the team performance coming in. Oh, there's gonna be three Black Hawks. Okay. Um, we've got like no experience by the way with helicopters. This is gonna be potentially painful. Hopefully they're not. If you go to Mela, that's where most of the departures are. So that's where most of the departures are for the airshow. If not, then we'll just do the red arrows or something. My mic's off. My mic should be off. I'm watching the live stream back like live. It shouldn't be off. I saw my mic's on. I'm watching a replay. I'm watching it like live, and I can see it. I can hear the mic, so it shouldn't be off. Yeah, scrap the helicopter performance. I don't know what I'm doing. Not my friend. Say for go straight into the actually, because I have no clue what I'm doing with this. So, one of hopefully the most um, intense aerobatic displays, the Red Arrows, based in the game at RAF Scampton on the island of Isla. If you want to do a Black Hawk performance, then you can do a Black Hawk performance. That is fine if you want to do that. It's completely your choice. Because we don't know what we're doing, me and my friend, we're going to do a Red Arrows performance whenever really. The smoke is being tested now. The smoke will come on for the Red Arrows. Can you join? If that's about the Red Arrow performance, then yes, you can. Yeah. 1 second, I'll be back. There's a LOT Polish plane that is taken off from somewhere. Flying around. Okay. Can you join? Yes. Yes. Yes, you can join. ATC 24. Uh, I don't actually know what ATC 24 is. The white plane, I probably assume that would be the smoke comes off, the red arrows are now ready for taxi. On Discord. What, the PTFS Discord? Yep, if you want to join, add the username in the top left. Let me know when you're done. At the top left username, then you should be able to join. 1 second. Oh, sorry if I voice protecting them. How do you join again? The top left username. The username in the top left corner. So if you just add the username in the top left corner, then you'll be accepted into the game. Let me know when you've done it, and yeah. The red arrows are now coming into view on the taxiway. They're gonna line up on the runway before getting ready for departure. Within the red arrows there is two BAE Hawk T1s and a F4 Phantom. I was gonna call it an F4 Jaguar then, for literally no reason. Okay, 1 second. And you will get accepted into the game. If you want to join in the edit space, by the way, the way to do it is to go from Mela Airport. I think I've accepted you. Have I accepted you? Or have you been accepted? The average flight path speed for the Red Arrows Hawk T1 will be around about 300 knots. The Red Arrows are now ready for departure. If you wish to join the Red Arrows aerobatics team in this performance, you've got like 10 seconds. No, just kidding. But if you would like to join the Red Arrows aerobatics team in this performance, get any jet with smoke, whether that be the BAE Hawk T1 or maybe even just a full Phantom. There they go now, rolling off. It's the BAE Hawk T1s. The F4 Phantom following in close behind. Red 1 is now starting to bring up the formation. The smoke comes on as the Red Arrows are now departed Mela. They're going to start off the formation. When Red 2 gets back up to the formation. When Red 2 gets back into formation, they're going to perform the first of their manoeuvres, called the Hannah Break. However, this can be done with only 3 jets rather than the 4. Here they are now, it's the Royal Air Force. Run a bit of the way. One sec, do y'all want to do the air show, or should I go over like realistic plane spotting? Oh my god, okay, never mind, I know what the answer is there. Supersonic. Who is that? Damn. We have a Yas Griffin, or Jas Griffin. Holy. Should look at the runway, there's a lot on the runway right now. I've lost the Griffin, it's somewhere over this way now. I've lost the Griffin. Here we are, look. Oh, almost. One sec. Okay, taking off from Mela runway. Oh yeah, I see you. Reunited could take off. I don't know what the runway is down there, but okay. Plane spotting instead of an airport. Pick an airport. If you want to do plane spotting instead of an air show, pick an airport, and I'll go there. Damn, that was good. I need to escape the noise real quickly for like 5 minutes. Okay, so what I think we should do, what's going to happen is I'm going to stop a new live stream for plane spotting rather than Airshow 1. I will get it started up as soon as I can.